Hello again, NBC YouTubers. Arlo White here, and I've come to the Etihad campus, the home of Manchester City, who are still fighting on all four fronts as we enter February. I'm going to have a chat today with a midfield player widely regarded as one of the best players of his generation, and he'll hope all of his injury problems that he's suffered from this season are out of the way in time for the big Premier League title push. So let's go inside the mind of the Belgian midfielder, Kevin De Bruyne. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Mind with me, Arlo White, and I've got the great pleasure of introducing Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City midfielder, Belgium international. Kevin, thank you very much for your time. Very busy part of the season, so we do appreciate it. So we'll get straight into the questions. What was the key, do you feel, to your immediate success after arriving back in the Premier League with Manchester City from Wolfsburg?
Well, in the summer I was ready to leave, so my mindset at the time was just to be physically as fit as possible. But I had a good season before that, and I played all the games, so to come back in the summer wasn't even a problem. Mentally I was ready, and physically I felt fine, so I just came here, started playing, and that was it.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
You'll be asked this a lot, I'm sure, because he's possibly the best manager in the world. Describe what playing for Pep Guardiola is like and what is expected of you.
It's intense because he's very detailed. Sometimes it can be, sometimes it's even too much, you know. In the beginning as a player you get sometimes too much information to process. Obviously it takes time to understand fully, but some players go quicker than others, so for some at certain times it can be really full of everything.
Were you one of the quick ones?
I think I'm fine, luckily, but it's because probably we have a little bit the same mindset of playing. Obviously, I'm not tactically the way he is. Obviously, I don't need to be. I'm a player. I just need to follow the instructions and to lead them. But if you play in a little bit of a similar way, a similar mindset, it makes it easier, obviously.
How precise are the instructions given to each individual player, including yourself, before each game?
It's not before each game, but the basics are very precise. Obviously, a football game is what you do as a player on the pitch. You in the end, it's you who decide, but certain things are very precise, especially in the beginning or build up or the way it starts, and when it goes on, it goes more initiative from the players itself.
Interesting. I know this season's been difficult for you with the injuries. How have you managed to cope being away from the game that you love, from the job that you love on a daily basis?
Been busy. Had a second son in October, so we're quite a few things to do. No, but to be fair, when you're injured, you work harder than when you're not injured. So the thing is, you're just alone. You're doing your own stuff. You're always working hard to come back as quick as possible. But in the end, the time frame is the time frame. So I've been away since the World Cup, since I would say middle of December. So that's practically a half a year. So yeah, it is what it is. You take it on the chin and you go on. There's nothing really you can do about it.
Getting much sleep?
The second one is much better than the first one.
Oh, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Good timing. As a team, how different is a title challenge when you're chasing instead of leading?
Well, it's not that different. Obviously, you want to be on top because it means if you slip up, it doesn't really matter. It does matter, but less. And now, if you slip up, you have to take care of what other teams. But in the end, we just have to look at ourselves. If we don't make it, we don't make it. In the end, there's 6 teams who want to win the title, and we're close to it, and still so long to go. Plus, we have 3 other cups, so it's still so many games to play for, and we look forward to the challenge. But the pressure is almost the same.
Interesting. And this could still be a very, very special season as well. We're getting into the business end of it now. For you as a footballer, What do you feel is the best decision you've ever made?
Probably the best and the hardest decision is leave home when I was 14 to play football. It's not a decision that everybody would make at my time, but for me the decision was to go to another team where I think I can do better and get more chances in the way that I played. And well, in the end it paid off, because I see a lot of players did that before or even during my time, but it didn't work for them, but it did for me.
So that shows, even at that age, you backed yourself. You had the confidence that you had the ability to make it at a higher level. Yeah,
but you learn lots of stuff, because obviously I was at home probably one afternoon a week. So we played Saturday, and then Saturday after the game I would go home, drive 250 kilometers, and then the Sunday afternoon go back where I needed to be to go to school and play football. And in the end, at the age of 15, you learn to be more mature, to take care of yourself, to learn stuff that probably you only learn when you're gonna live by yourself a little bit. I had lots of help, but still not the same, I guess.
I don't know whether you're any good at mathematics at school, but your appreciation of geometry on a football pitch seems to be better than anyone that I've ever seen. The angles that you see for passes, I don't think many other human beings see. When were you aware that you were seeing the game in a different way to perhaps people you were playing with?
I don't really know, to be fair. I don't know. I think sometimes maybe people see it, but maybe just trying. Where me as a player, I'm a little bit of a risky player sometimes, but that's my nature, is to go forward. Everybody knows that. That's my force, I think. And obviously, there's things that you need to try. I probably as a youth player did it many times, and many times it probably will fail. But obviously, when it goes through, it's so important. And I think is you need to have the vision, obviously, but you need to try it. And sometimes people are maybe it's not the word scared, but a little bit backwards to these type of things, because people maybe don't appreciate it. But when it goes over, it's obviously people are gonna say it's something special, but in the end it's not. It's just, for me, it's just normal.
Well, it's fun to watch, and it's also, thank you for trying to describe it, because the hardest thing I think for people to describe is something that comes naturally. It's just us on the outside that see it and think it's very special. What achievements in the game so far are you most proud of?
Well, to be fair, when I look back, I'm just proud of playing so many games at my age. I like the game of football. Obviously, it's a lot of business and a lot of other things, but in the end of the game, I like to play football. That's the main reason why I do it. Obviously, you earn a lot of money, and that goes next to it now, because that's for football. But my main reason is still, I like to play football, and I enjoy to be every minute of every game that I can play, and when I'm fit to be on it, because I still enjoy it. And I played more than 450 games. I think I'm 10 years in the game, so that's already a pretty amazing thing to look backwards. And I'm happy to win titles like Germany, Belgium, England now. So it's been a fun 10 years for me, to be fair.
And a lot more to come. Who has been your toughest opponent so far, and why?
Mostly it's guys that I don't even know, because when you play against guys that everybody knows, you know what their strong suits is, and you try to play in and their weaknesses. Where mostly when you play guys, and especially in the beginning of my career, I had it in Germany, where you think like, oh, it's gonna be easy for me today. That's the day they take you on, and then you learn a lot about it. So it's. I'm not surprised if I have a tough evening playing, for instance, like Kante, because you know what he does, but other players where you don't really know, you think like, for me, this is my day, where probably maybe it's the opposite. It's just the way it goes.
One final question from me. What's the one footballing achievement that you want to accomplish before you retire, which is many years away, but what's the one thing you'd like to achieve before that happens?
There's not really one thing. You know, I want to win loads of stuff. So to take one thing, maybe a World Cup because it's something special. But it's very difficult. So well, if that would come, that would be nice.
That would be very nice. Kevin, we really appreciate your time.
No problem.
I know it's a busy time of the season, and it's great to see you back.
Thank you.
Enjoy everything between now and the end of the season.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings on NBCSN.